to YouTube so I can
We're
share.
back. We're back. We're back. We're back for the Tru-Mon show with Mr. Iru. How are you, Iru?
Fine, fine. Sorry, I was looking to my other monitor. I ask you if you can
Yes.
send me via Facebook the link of YouTube so I can share in my fan page.
I
Billy,
sent I sent it to you already. You must have it in your messenger that I
the,
sent it
the
yesterday.
regular the regular link or
Yeah, both.
the
I
both.
believe you have both. Yeah.
Of course, it be again a pleasure to be
Yeah.
here. So
No,
thank.
pleasure to have you back. You were a bit absent for a little while, but you were busy. That's fine. The last time we left, we were talking about. We left on. We were mostly talking about spiritual stuff and reconnecting with our spirituality. And I think that's the whole essence of this awakening is to reconnect with our spiritual nature that we, for many, many, many thousands of years now have been under some trauma that we forgot who we are, and where we're from. So it's
Oh
very
wow, that's a really.
that's what basically that's what it because basically that's what it is. We don't know where we're from. We don't know where we are because nobody has a real picture of the earth. Nobody has a picture of the whole
Oh,
earth.
nobody.
So
So I like to, if you allow me, to correct one thing because it's
yeah,
not like you say. We don't know where we come from. We don't remember,
yeah, we don't
when,
remember
which is
exactly.
which is totally different because that is the spiritual thing. You can have all these histories about the angel that like maybe a fusion with the lips. I don't know it how say in English, but here in Spanish there is like a history that you when you're going to reborn, when you're going to make the reincarnation, uh, angels, they take out your mouth so you can remember. It's like they shoot down your remembers, and the allegoric images for that is like erase your mouth so you can speak. Like Neo in the
Yeah,
Matrix when
yeah.
the agent is like making that. So for that, I think in 2008 or 9, I gonna share my monitor just for a second. I discovered this web page. I can remember why was the event that I entered to this page, but it's a really good one. For me, it's one of the best. Uh, because it's in. I think this was in make for a Russian guy. Here is the name in some way, in some part of the web. It's in all these languages, which is a lot. So there is a really like good purpose behind, because he took the time to translate to all this language. Michael Raduga, here is the name, and I'm gonna leave in the English section. But here you have two videos, really, look to see. But here is the important thing: you have a free practical guide to what is called the face, and the face is this kind of state when you are sleeping. And for example, the most normally commonly thing is when you are asleep and the body is returned, the spirit is returned to the body, but the body is like activate itself for some kind of noise in the environment, thing like that, but there is not so strong to wake up you, but your body is in alert mode. So you are returned to the body and you have the feeling like you are awareness, but you can move. It's just like it's like you open your eyes, but in the reality, in the physical reality, you didn't open. but you see the surrounded environment of your room or wherever these kind of things can happen to the person. So here is a free PDF to download it, and I think it has like 250 pages, 300 pages, but in the first 40 pages you have 4 methods to take out your body, and you can test it. Because I think a lot of person, we jump to the flat earth model, and we don't go inside the concave earth or the spherical earth, because you can test it. You can test it. The only thing you can really test is the stationary flat plane. Flat in terms, generic at a word, because it's not flat, literally flat, but there are things you can test it. And if you come to the side of the science, you're gonna maybe suffer the empty of the spirit, because you believe to the science. And remember something, when in English, because this series, for the people that maybe doesn't know what is all this about, we have been talking about the biocodification of all the characters that represent and present us the spherical world, right? So these all guys like Isaac Newton, Eratosthenes, Copernicus, Mercurio, etc., they are all connected with Egyptians, right? So with the god Baal. So we have been talking about all the symbology from Baal, which is living in a ball, surrounding Ra, the god sun. That is what they shift us in terms of models, right? So they put us in the Luciferian's gods in front of us, and we defend the position to be making rounds around the sun, and like was something great, but the sun is the first representation of Luciferian's logias, right?
But that's what Jabba was telling me this afternoon. He said when you see the light, that's the light of Lucifer or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, if you are a person like me, like you, and like my friend Lenny, and like anybody else, because every one of us born inside this matrix, we don't have the time we don't reborn in the time of see the transition, because in other ages you may be born, I don't know, you are experiment life in like 70th century, you maybe see that nobody can prove that the world was round. In that time everything was talking like philosophers and physicals and mathematicians and things like that, but nobody can send a plane or a ship or whatever to see if really we are in the ball. So in that age is all about just talking, but we reborn in this situation where NASA has totally control over the theory of the ball Earth. So now we are trying to reconnect with the original model. So if you are a victim, like everybody in this time, we believe in a spherical world, right? So if we believe in the spherical world, I just put in some picture to the new people that maybe see this video as first, can see something about what we're talking. Okay, the other episodes. So if you come from this side to the official science that cannot show us a really true Earth picture, following the method, the scientific method, which is observable, measured, and repeatable. So here you can repeat the pattern, so that is not science. So if you come to this from this world, you come from the atom, from the sun god invocation all the time. New atom, new atom. So everything is connected to Egyptians. That is no doubt. In fact, into the military also, you have Thor putting on the missiles that launch to the atmosphere. When you talk about atmosphere, we are talking about the sphere of atom. That is why they call it atom sphere, okay? Because for them, they feel like they are the owners of this plane. So they put it in every aspect of you know. I going to I'm going to return to the spirit part, okay? But I'm talking and I have make some ramifications, but that is also that I really recommend to the people learning about the, I don't know how it's in English, but it's the arborescent thinking versus the linear thinking. Do you know it?
Yeah, linear thinking versus what you said?
Here is called pensamiento presente, is like say tree.
Abstract thinking. You said no?
I don't, maybe that is a bad word because it doesn't have
No.
anything of
Yeah,
abstract,
no.
but I think maybe in English, maybe our friend Google can help us. Well, no, they can translate this,
Okay,
but
so
it's a way to thinking, making ramifications and then condense in one result. Sometimes it's a little more slow to achieve the goal, but sometimes it's more faster, because if you are using a linear thinking, like every university, going to learn to teach you the linear thinking, maybe you have all this, you have a problem, and here you have this. Meanwhile, in the process, if you thinking linearly, you're going to be go through each one, and maybe the solution is in this, but you need first going one step to the other, reading everything here, reading it, until you get this to go the solution. So here you can lose a lot of time. If you are lucky, maybe the solution is in this point and you just pass some time reaching this goal. But the arborescent thinking, the tree thinking, is like you are index the things. You have you can like put names, because what you do first, what is this, all these folders like I have here. You name it every folder. You go inside and you name it every file. And you take this time. That is something about the Simpsons, like Lenny make the video, from the sequoia tree, Lisa can see, to New York, and everything is flat, Okay, and then you have the other, the Genesis, like this chapter of the Simpsons, which are related to the Night of Witches, the holiday.
There's so much stuff in The Simpsons about the flat Earth, and it's terrible.
Yeah, yes, it's quite a lot. So this is like making you have a first time when you need to take the time to put all the information, analyze all the information. Maybe you are going a lot, for this kind of ramification, but then when you need to, for example, you say, show me high camp altitude, so I can start to type, and I have it here, and I show you the 43 kilometers camera, which show us everything is flat, for example. That is a little, introduction of what is thinking in in tree from like flower, tree mode. Okay.
The only thing I can I can say about those cameras that go up like this is we never see a 360 of those camera all around. Like there's never a camera that goes all around 360. That would be interesting to see.
This is one of those camera. This is the first 360 cameras.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. This one goes 360.
yeah, real
Okay.
time, 360 real time, because that is why you see all this distortion.
Okay.
This is a spherical distortion. And here you can see that is why this is like, the roof of the balloon, see like this, because if you warp it, you have the 360 view. In fact, you can see this file from Google, and you're gonna have here like the arrow to move your point of view in real time. This is like the unwarped camera file, so that is why you can see this, and this is totally fucking flat. Okay. So that is the arborescent thinking. So when I going to get back, so if you start thinking that when you need to debunk the spherical earth, you're gonna have this kind, in your mind, because you can erase in the metaphysical thing, in the quantum field of the thing that are no material thing. The best thing to change something is not try to erase, is try to replace, because you have your mind, and now you're gonna have in your mind, you're gonna have a lot of patterns, neurological patterns that refer you to a spherical world, and all the things that are connected with us from the childhood until where you are now. Okay, you're gonna have, for example, if you fall off the tree or off the roof of your house, you're gonna think in gravity, because you learn at that time that kind of concept. All right, but you have that kind of thought link, with that word. So maybe it's a little confused when how I explain, but
No, no, it's the same thing as if we look at the moon and the sun. It's very hard not to see them spherical, even if they're not. Like even if they were, it's not. You're unable really to see them because your eyes doesn't allow you to see 3D, so you could not see a sphere
yes,
from that far. Even with a telescope, because it's still a representation and it's a 2D representation. So
yes,
even so, all this is constructed image in our brain at start. So that's why that's where they play. They play on the subconscious level, really, to program us. And yeah, for sure. No, and that's a bit what you were saying.
yeah, exactly. So what you need to do is start to replace the things in your
Yeah.
mind. So for replace, you need to take a new kind of knowledge to replace that kind of pattern. So when you see, for example, the sun, you must be replace the idea to be a 100 million of kilometers away. So you need just replace. You don't need to fight with that kind of pattern of the mind. You just replace it. You just say, okay, what I see the sun at the same size of the moon. So it's impossible, if my eyes can see it, it's impossible to be at that kind of distance. Okay, so they uses a lot of that kind of thing. So this is atom sphere. Where it goes? It goes to your mind. That is why they uses the word atom. Okay, like we see before, and then the sphere. In fact, when you start to analyze all this kind of
The
society,
atom bomb. The atom bomb also. The atom bomb.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know, that's why they say the atom bomb is what can destroy the earth or whatever. I don't believe that, but that's in their.
Yeah, they have the power. They are, they are this kind of you know, spirits. They come from this old, you know, the last reset of the of the human race was about 12,000 years ago. You know, the big flow.
Yeah.
So they come. In fact, when we're talking about latitude and longitude, is our, you know, our jail. This is latitude and longitude. So they are putting inside of a cage. That is what
That's
they
really what
do.
it is. Yeah.
This is for your mind and for your spirit and things like that. So when you're talking, in fact, for example, they go so deep, because they can change the entire societies with this kind of procediment. For example, before, when you go, if you want to get you know, go to the dance club, for at least here in Latin America, in Argentina, they call disco bar. All right, this is a disco bar, right? And if you start looking at this, and they, well, here is like a little dumb, okay? They call disco bar, but if you, disco is like talking about disc. So in your mind, you're gonna all the time you get to the disco, and the disco is like the shape, you know, a little bit, the shape that we know that is our plane. It's a disc, and everything is inside that disc. But now, at least from my for my age, I have 35 years old. Now they change the concept, for example, and they call, here in Argentina, they call boliche, and
No,
they
but
call,
you make me think of something also. You weren't you, maybe you mentioned it before, but there's the disco ball too.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that is why they change from disco to boliche. And maybe you can think, you are going too far away. No, this is
No, no, no.
because it's the same why the soccer play. You know, you are talking about the hockey, remember?
Yeah.
Hockey. So they will, before, was disco, a disc, simply. And now they go to boliche and they put it everywhere, these balls, right? So they go so deep because they go in all the possible layers in the quantum field of the mind. That's it's why they go in. They are in everywhere. Um, so the thing is, okay, why we need to return to the original model, because if you come from the science, from the scientific and cultural, you know, institution of the one, one, onu,
You know
okay.
what? Hold on. You know what it remembers me? That disco ball. While we're talking about it, you know, we went from the disc. We were on the disc before. We went from the disc au ball because au ball. If you take the O, you can put it in French, and en français, ça ferait du disque au bal. Du disque au ball, disque au ball. You know, disque au ball.
Yeah,
Oh, this is like we said it in the previous show, and they play on that. But I learned that tonight, brought it to my attention, and it's still on my mind. Go ahead, keep on.
okay. In fact, all that the evidence that this kind of institution present to us, in fact, are what? Belief. What is the codification of the word belief? Be lie.
Yeah.
So the beliefs that are present to us are lies. They are telling you. They are telling you, and they use this kind of method because they are, you know, they are magicians. One thing is when you trick. I don't know if trick the people. This is just a trick. But magician, it's like control the numbers, symbols, and vibrations. This is being a magician. It's nothing had to do with trickery people, okay? The trick, I can show you a coin in my right hand, and then I can make it some movement of the arms, and you are passed to the left hand. That is a trick, okay? That is not a magician, okay? That is just simply a trick. But the magicians is when you know how control the energy surround you, and you understand that when you see another people, you see, of course, the biological body, but also you know that that biological body has a spirit, and if you need to control that biological body, you need to connect with the spirit. So that is what a lot of people, I remember, I'm going to show you. Do you know Radiohead? Do you know Radiohead?
No.
The band Radiohead? No?
Radiohead. Radiohead. Yeah, Radiohead. Yeah.
Sorry for my pronunciation, my friend.
No, it's okay. Radiohead. It's okay.
In this Unplugged of Paris 2003, which is it's like you know, in a bar. The format of the video is just the guitar player and the principal guitar player and Tom York. So they just both they are alone, they two guys alone, you know, making a show. But in the meanwhile, they have like a conversation with the host of the show, and in one part the host answered to Tom York about the 9/11 and why he write the song "Halt to the Thief" referred to George Bush. And another part, which I really, if you can hold me on, I want to put it, because this guy asked to Tom York about, he said, okay, Tom, you believe in the soul's possessions of the people. And Tom York, if you allow me, we can take it 2 minutes to find that part.
Yeah, go ahead.
It passes by. Is that a fair comment?
I think the record is a conflict between being incredibly angry and being.
He's talking about some disc that he presented, but I think it's coming right here. I'm gonna leave it so we can listen.
That's the trick, you see. That's how they get you. That's when people stop participating in democracy. That's when fascism occurs. That's when idiots get in charge.
But do you really feel that you can't change anything then? You can't.
No, I don't. No, I don't. But the record was very much involved with feeling that. Yeah.
And finally,
it's here. I'm gonna put it the first part because it's talking about the 9/11. If I don't but remember.
Comes on Hell to the Thief as well.
Yeah, it's this part.
Comes on Hell to the Thief.
Here is.
Now, a recurring theme, and he comes on Hell to the Thief as well, is sort of you speak out, but you also have a bit of the ostrich thing about, I'll sort of go my head until it passes by. Is that a fair comment?
I think the record is a conflict between being incredibly angry and being so tired to just, you want to give up. You want to give up even thinking about it because it's totally out of your hands anyway, la la la. But that's the trick, you see, that's how they get you. That's when people stop participating in democracy, that's when fascism occurs. That's when idiots get in charge.
But do you really feel that you can't change anything then? You can't.
No, I don't. No, I don't. But the record was very much involved with feeling that. Yeah.
And finally, you're hailed as one of the most important bands in the world. Does that phrase mean anything to you guys? I mean, when you win awards and things, I guess it must recompense for what you've done. Is it something you think about?
Yeah, I think about it when I'm doing my son's nappies.
Sam?
Son, I really shouldn't be dealing with your shit right now. I'm far too important.
And there's not been a greatest hits yet. Will there be?
No.
Can you envisage? No.
Only when the band is over. That's the only time that a greatest hits has.
We need the money.
We need the money. No, when the band is over, because otherwise it's terrible. I can't understand like greatest hits halfway, because you know, like Queen did their greatest hits, and the first one is impeccable, isn't it? It's absolute genius, and then the rest was all rubbish after that. Well, it was kind of, wasn't it?
You can start a debate off in a minute.
No, okay, it's not rubbish. It's not rubbish, but it's not Seven Seas of Rye. It's not, you know.
That's the old the band syndrome. That is one.
What's that?
All have exactly the same.
Well, probably, but it should be
anything after 8 pupils.
No, but we haven't done a greatest hits album, you see. It's once you do, it's like there's a trade-off there. There's a creative trade-off. But Blur did a greatest.
Give me a second, give me a second.
How are you going to do it if Tom doesn't ever listen to any of the old records? How are you going to choose? Who's going to decide?
We'll delegate. We'll delegate it.
Delegate it.
Yeah, someone in the office. Yeah, exactly.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
Thank you very much, guys.
Like always, I get wrong. I think it's here. I'm sorry, man. It just
Into the control room.
Yeah, it feels like an app.
Don't say
okay.
that. That's my literary reference for the week.
Okay.
Thank you. The certain people block in New York.
Okay, I can find it. Some part.
He
Okay,
was talking about New York.
Yeah, no, yeah, but it's like.
It was the ocean waste unit. We used to have those 3.5-minute pop tunes. Yeah, it feels like an epic. Yeah, to control them.
I got it here.
Why are you held to the thief? I need you.
I got it. It's here. It's here. Sorry for the other part. Okay, sorry for the other part. It's in this part of the interview. There are just 2 minutes.
You know, just do what we've been doing live, and in the
We'll be on. Keep it on, you click.
Why are you?
Tom and Ed, welcome to Paris.
Merci.
And thank you so much for coming, firstly. So, tonight, only Tom and Johnny will be on stage. So, why?
Too much gear.
What's
Too much gear.
Yeah.
Too complicated.
So, what was the spirit when you went in to record the new stuff?
It was good. I mean, the whole thing was to try and keep it quick, you know. Do it quickly, don't think about it too much, and, you know, just do what we've been doing live and in the same spirit, and that's what we did.
Look how they talk. You know, the host asked for, okay, when you enter to record the disc, what are you feeling now? What are you thinking now? What are your spirit? You know? And then he answered like the same code, you know, talking about spirit.
Which was new for us, obviously.
We had a laugh.
Yeah.
And for the first time, you went to Los Angeles. At Nigel's insistence.
Yeah.
What did you first say when you said, let's go to LA, boys?
Okay. We said, okay, we'll have to work on that. How much is it going to cost? And I mean, the studio's great, so I was kind of sold on it. But
it was the ocean waste unit, you know, the beach was
lovely.
But after Kiddo and Amnesia, was there a band decision to do something different, to come back with a more direct, perhaps shorter songs, rockier? Was there a definite feeling that we should do something new?
Well, no, it was more like, let's carry on where we're at. I mean, I guess it was more direct because we assembled it faster and we're using a different method, but it wasn't like, let's make a more direct record, I don't think. But it was more to do with making a record about capturing a performance, not like endless editing and re-editing and stuff. So very much like us from capturing a moment, which is, I guess, more pop, maybe. I don't know.
And the songs are back to like something when I was young, punk ethic.
And there.
Yes. When I was younger, you know, we used to have those 3.5-minute pop tunes.
Yeah. Well, I had to think about that. I had to think about that when you go into, you know, after doing the take, and you run into the control room, and I shout to the engineer, "How long was that, Daryl?" And he said, 5 minutes 60, 5 minutes 50. Oh.
It's coming.
Okay, let's cut out 2 minutes. Because I'm trying to do everything short. The we went back and realised all the Beatles records were really, all the songs were really short, which was something of a surprise. You know, Happiness is One Gun is, I think, just over 3 minutes, which is scary because it feels like it's about 10.
Yeah, it feels like an epic.
Yeah.
Why Hail to the Thief? I need to ask it because I know there's a book about Bush and the way that he stole the election and Michael Moore's
There's many.
books. Yes. And you can also be about the internet, I guess.
Yeah.
And there's also a thing that you talk about people possessing other people's souls to control them.
Yeah.
Is it all of those things, or?
Yeah, I mean, I like this. I like the last one because this is an idea that Dante had as my literary reference for the week.
Okay.
Thank you. That certain people they do things that are so bad, they're still alive, but their souls have already gone, so they're sort of essentially possessed. I think, I don't know about you, but I've actually met people like that. You meet them
In this business? Yes.
yeah, it comes right up behind you. So that's, at the moment, How to Think is about that for me. I'm really into that idea. It's much more about that than the Bush thing, because it's sort of, it's everywhere, and everybody says it, and everybody, I mean, you walk around New York, and every other block in New York has got someone who's called Fuck Bush on the wall. It's not like, you know, we're on our own.
Yeah. Particularly convinced.
So I don't know if you listen to him,
Yeah.
right? It's about talking, you know, possession souls of the people, and he knew, you know, people in the industry that he doesn't want even touch the hand. And this was on 2003. But if you're talking about Radiohead last disc, what do you remember? If that's the last album. Let's go album. So this is the last album, a moon-shaped pool, and this is the picture. And you know, for me, I don't know for you, but for me, if you just compare a little bit, you know, let me put some up here. We're gonna make quickly. So if you just take, for example, this map here, and you bring up this image to here, and you know, you rotate a bit. Okay, it's something. I just, you know, talking in general lines. Okay, in general lines, but they have that kind of name. This album was making. Let me put this one, for example. This is a little, you know, concept for the what is really the surrounded portions of this plane. So when you take that kind of things, you know, that's maybe.
They have the name. They have the name Radiohead.
Yeah.
So no, it makes sense.
It's just, this is I put it here just for you know, for because it's like a disc. It has the image has this kind of, you know, these envelopes in the shapes, which is like this one. I mean, when you see the cover album, I see like a piece of rocks, you know, with some continent. That is because I am influenced with all this movement. But who is gonna deny that this has some shape, you know, a disc surrounded for like something like lava or rocks or thing like that, and it's like a little bit like a maps or surface terrain or thing like that, containing, you know, the white, of course, is something empty like water, is something like there is not in the same target of the land. So this is land. So for my mind, these other portions must be land too, because this is referred to land. But the white, if my mind see land here, my mind is gonna see water on the white, right? So that is all the symbolics, you know, when the people design things, make some designs of this kind of cover albums, and the disc itself inside, I think is have some kind of concepts, you know. We leave it there. B.O.B. is, you know, it's talking about the thing, so why not Radiohead? We also show the album oasis. So when you see this, you clearly see a dome with a white wall.
Yeah, yeah,
The,
yeah.
the bottom part, which is to the nothing and don't believe the truth, in white garage door, and the rest are just bricks. You know, like this was Antarctica. This is, and we're talking about the first song of this disc, which is Turning Up the Sun. We're talking about the boys in the bubble that want to be free but are blinded by the science. So for me, that is totally clear. So all these persons knows that we have spirit. So that is the important thing, because if you come from the science part, you know, I'm going to return, take it as a sham session, you know. So if you believe this guy, you're gonna be empty of a spirit, because you be lie to Darwin and the Big Bang, without knowing that all that kind of things are present to us by Jesuits, by, you know, religious people, not by a science people. They are all the we know that they was all about Freemasons and lighting. You know, they all the time they refer to lighting. We used to think that this hand, you know, this hand code come from Star Trek, but not. This hand code come from Israeli people, Israeli religion. So we know that they are all Freemasons, things like that. So why, if they are so scientific, why they practice rituals in magician things, symbols, mathematical numbers, vibrations? They know all these things.
And that's what we were saying today in Jabba. The ritual, not only they do ritual, but they ask you to be part of the ritual, because on Sunday or whatever day you go to church, or usually Catholic is Sunday. Well, the ritual that he does in the front, he's drinking blood and eating. That's what he does. It's a representation of drinking blood. And they tell you, this is my blood for you, and this is my body for you. And it's just that should be like, hey, what's this thing of drinking blood? But no, people are so hypnotized, masses are so hypnotized by having a salvation coming to them by an external savior, or something like that, that they just give themselves away to the whole concept of religion. And
why all the time the scientifics are priests. They have the suit of priest. Talking with Einstein, because George Lemaitre was the Catholic priest that present the Big Bang theory. And Copernicus, for example, he also was a priest. And you know, all the time they are priests. So because they know they need to change the age. Now we need to enter to, you know, Aquario. But the problem with you know, enter in the age of Aquario is enter in the I don't know what is the name of Poseidon, Neptuno. Did you know Neptuno?
Neptune,
yeah. We are enter in the I have somewhere here, if I don't just
yeah, that's what I wonder all the time. What's gonna happen when we shift to the age of Aquarius? Like, what's gonna be the transition?
Yeah, like, this is the age of Aquario. The age of Aquario is the age of the same guys. You know, it's just the same. His Poseidon, you know, present us the ball Earth, but Poseidon, it's Neptuno, and Neptuno is Enlil, and every time you start trace back the meanings, you return all the time. There is no even, you know, all the time you're gonna return to Egyptians, that's to Sumerians and Egyptians. Everything, everything is connected, and these guys knows about spiritual because we are indestructible.
I think
We are
if you can say in the modern world, all roads leads to Rome, and in the ancient time, all roads lead to Egypt.
exact,
Egyptian, makes sense.
exact. Yeah, yeah. For me, you know, Rome, I think, was suffered one of the first, false flag event, which is burning Roma. When they burned up Roma, that was totally, there is no a guy who, I don't know, fold a torch and the torch bring fire on the curtains, and no, that was all arranged. It was a city fire.
Yeah.
There's no just a house of a monument. It was a complete reset that was totally planned. So they are the same guys that they are reinventing, the phoenix, the bird phoenix concept, They burning and they return from the ashes.
Yeah, they have that phoenix in many churches, eh?
Yeah, exactly. So the problem is the most of the people doesn't know, they don't know this method of studying, which called trivium and quadrivium. This is a concept called from the Middle Age, but it the important thing here is education method make it from free men in opposition to the slave men. Our education right now, we are receiving slavery education, no a really good one. And for the English persons, I recommend to look at the Mark Passio Quadrivium and Trivium documentary, and here is all the explanation. Because in that kind of education system, in this part, in quadrivium, refer to the mathematical and numbers, right? So in this part, the elite have access to the astronomy, to mathematical, to astrology, to the meaning, the real meaning of numbers. That is why they use all the time the 9 and 11 and that kind of ritual things with the numbers. So here is where it's come a lot of our slavery and our unknowledge things about what we see in the sky, because in the regular books for education, we doesn't care about the astrology, the astronomy. In the elementary school, they don't teach you nothing about how to understand the sky above us. They take off of the regular books,
Yeah, nothing in school is really there to make you reach your full potential intellectually and spiritually. First of all, like they killed spirituality with religion. They just that's what they do with. If every time you enter some kind of religion, it's to kill your spirituality. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. So the education that we are receiving it's let me just erase that part here. How is my English, man? It's a little better.
Great.
Right?
Great. Great.
Maestro, ¿usted está por ahí todavía? Le estaba hablando a mi amigo que debe estar yendo y viniendo.
Acá estoy siguiendo atentamente.
Maestro, me posteaste algo de Audioslave, la banda.
Sí, porque vos estabas mostrando lo de Oasis, ¿viste? Y lo de Radiohead. No, y simplemente, si vos te fijás el álbum de Revelations de Audioslave, te muestran en la tapa del disco un mundo, o sea, el planeta redondo, ¿no? Y te separan la palabra slave de audio. Entonces, nada, simplemente como separando Radiohead de Radiohead, cabeza esférica, radio, onda de radio, esclavos del audio, y te hacen como una connotación parecida de lo que vendría a ser el planeta redondo y la palabra esclavo aparte, como una analogía, ¿me explico?
Sí, sí, totalmente, totalmente. He said that I didn't see the chat room, but when we talking to Radiohead and in that part of the hangout, he post the last album also of Audioslave, which show us, like the word slave on the curve of the fucking ball Earth,
Oh my.
because they separate. The band is called Audio Slave, no Slave Audio. In fact, the word aui, iwa, I don't know what it. You are slave, okay, in this planet. And the word Radiohead, which for the previous chapter we talk about when he tried to measure the diameter Eratosthenes, thought, the Egyptian god, the age of thought, the era of thought. He proposed also, of course, the radio. And when we're talking about the radio in the air of the earth, we are talking like in the center of our life lives the god Ra, right? And Radiohead, it's like talking about the head of the radio. That is why they use Freddie Mercury, Mercurio, which is another Egyptian god and Roman. We are talking about Radio Gaga, the song of Queen, but when Freddie Mercury was murdered, he was like a flag to the people, not to the people, to the pharmaceutical, talking about the SIDA, HSP, I don't know what is the name. They kill, they sacrifice, and they replace, because Gaga it's a god, Gaga god, they replace with Lady Gaga. This is Gaga. The people doesn't know that this is Gaga. It's an Egyptian god. So they all the time, reborn, and they all the time put this kind of Egyptian symbols all around us. So when we're talking about gracias maestro por el comentario. When we're talking about, when we're talking about education, the most, people doesn't even, I didn't, 4 months ago, I even think in this kind of concept. I didn't know it, the trivium and the quadrivium, I didn't know nothing about this, but the complete education that we receive is come from Walt Disney and Monsanto. We showed this kind of things before, so that is something that you must have in mind, because they are teaching us all about the space.
And the MTV logo is a 33 in there also, huh?
Yeah. Walt Disney.
If you take the M, it's 2, 3 together.
Yes.
The MTV.
No, in fact, the letter, the people doesn't know this. Why they use this kind of shape about the MTV? I'm gonna show you why. Because when you took this this letter and you put it like this, right? And let me just fill with the red color. Okay. When you put it like this, it's the same as this. And this is the letter sigma in Greek. And the letter and the meaning of the sigma, it's like stigma. Stigma, it means the fruits of suffers from the Greek. So when you see MTV or when you see the Monsanto letter, you're gonna see the suffer path,
Okay, that's around the same thing for CNN then. If you take the CNN logo, you reverse it, you can have the same symbol.
I'm gonna put you here.
That's profound. I never.
Here you can see the you know, a little
Yeah.
thing, but here is the symbolic here is
Yeah.
that they have the 33
Yeah.
number. There you have the like, you know, this is 1 3 and this is the other 3 because they are 33 degrees Mason. So when you see this kind of thing, that these are because they want you who have stigmas. If I put it, the first thing is gonna appear is, of course, is gonna be Jesus. I mean, I think maybe I get wrong, but stigma. Uh, you know, let me. I'm gonna put it in Spanish because when you're talking about stigmas, you're talking about that this kind of thing which you have the holes in the hands, and these people call it that they receive this from one you know, from the night to the day, you know, but that is what it a stigma. That is why the word stigma it's refer to pain, to suffer, and things like that. So that is why they use this kind of letter, because they want to we suffer. That is the real thing. For them, there you have the stigma letter of Monsanto, and the people, you know, they must understand that Disney have an educational media company. So this, you know, you can see the hat of the university,
Yeah.
which is the cult of Saturn. That is why it's a box on the head.
And also the ears of the Mickey Mouse is 33 also. They are Masons also. There's a Masonic club on Disney on the Disney site.
Yeah.
So you just the ears of Mickey Mouse, you take it, it's a 33. Like
yeah,
they're everywhere. The symbols are everywhere.
in fact, you know, this is, and look how deep and how religious they are. And I mean religious, I mean how they know how control the minds and the hearts of the people. Because I wanted to you listen two things. First of all, the music. Okay, the music nice. It needs to be like a nice music, you know, that take your attention. So they put all these kind of like everything is okay. Come here and get fun. So I really like to know what is the feeling of the people which are in the, you know, in the conspiracy things, but they deny that the Masons are lying to us with the ball earth. When they see the adventure through inner space presented by Monsanto and Disney 2 years ago, the 2 years before the moon landing, this is real. This is real. They are in everywhere. They are all partnerships. So look at how many, you know, diverse of the social class. You have military guys, you have business guys, you know, housekeeper persons. They are all kind of society range going to, and look at, of course, from the background, the plane, you know, with the center, they are putting in our face. You know, this is all brainwashing.
Land's first decade.
And for example, you have the rocket here, and the rocket, if I don't, this is the rocket. The rocket is an obelisk. It's an obelisk. That is why that's right. That is the symbolic, you know, with the rocket go to try to rip up the atmosphere, the earth. You know, it's like a penis go up into the sky, the Egyptians penis. So they are putting it everywhere. But when you enter, you go to Disneyland sometime.
No, no, my wife went with the children, but I didn't go. I wasn't able to go.
I
So I
go.
didn't go. Never went.
I was there twice in my childhood, and I remember every fucking game, you know, and how they present the games, and they do this even and in our days. Okay, you have,
inner space.
you know, everything this
Centerpiece for the new Tomorrowland.
the new Tomorrowland, you know, presented everything, you know, okay. But when you enter in the game, you start to see, you know, they always use like no light things, you know, everything is black, mysterious,
So, you will travel
and they always use this kind of voice.
into the incredible universe found within a tiny fragment of a snowflake. I am the first person to make this fabulous journey. Suspended in the timelessness of inner space are the thought waves of my first impressions. They will be our only source of contact once you have passed beyond the limits of normal magnification.
They use all the time, what they do is uses that kind of reverb, you know, in the audio, and you're gonna see here, they're gonna use a lot of blinking lights. Pay attention, huh? Look at the environment, you know, the sound atmosphere.
And passing beyond the magnification limits of even the most powerful microscope. These are snowflakes, and yet they seem to grow larger and larger. Or can I be shrinking beyond the smallness of a tiny snowflake crystal? Indeed, I am becoming smaller and smaller.
That kind of speak, it's like when you are gonna be hypnotized, you know.
Yeah, same thing. You're being hypnotized.
Yeah. Then they jump to
Tiny bits
this.
of snowflake crystal tower above me, like an enormous wall of ice. Can I penetrate this gigantic prism? And yet this wall of ice only seems smooth and solid. From this tiny viewpoint, I can see that nothing is solid, no matter how it appears.
Nothing is solid. Nothing.
And still I continue to shrink. What compare?
And continues to shrink. They want to, you know, feel like even less than a grain of sand.
And force draws me into the mysterious darkness. Can this be the threshold of inner space?
Can be the threshold of inner space.
These fuzzy spheres must be the atoms that make up the molecule.
The fast, you know, the atom sphere, they maybe are the atoms, because nobody has a picture of the atom. They doesn't exist. The atom is physically it's you know, unobservable. The atom.
2 hydrogen atoms bonded to a single oxygen atom. And I see it's the orbiting electrons that give the atom its fuzzy appearance. Electrons are dashing above us.
And you can see all the black, and there is
the nucleus of the atom. Do I dare explore?
They put that red light in front of you. They talking with that kind of reverb, and when you go deeper, for example, this is an audio that a friend of mine sent me, because he working filming things in parties, you know, when the people get married, or when you going to a church, and look why the church all around the world have what, that kind of reverb too.
Que ellos a diferencia nuestra no tienen pecados personales porque todavía no pueden elegir entre el bien y el mal. Como no decimos que el bautismo borra el pecado, los hace hijos de Dios y los une a Dios.
It's why Disney used the same effects that the priest uses in a church. Because everything is vibration, so they need to get access to your brain to get control of your spirit. So that is why when they want to put it when you want to replace a concept in your mind, they are going to do these kind of things about, talking with that kind of thing, putting you in the dark room, hitting lights, turning on and off all the time, because that is the way, how you access to the spirit level.
But that's how they prepare you for their upcoming fake reality all the time, by projecting some kind of false image, either in movies or on the news or something like that. Like now they say they're gonna go to Mars, I think, or something like that, another stupid stuff. But they put the movie out about Mars, just for predictive programming, most of it.
Yeah. In fact, everything. Again, all we know to Mars, it's come from our friend again, Disneyland. It's from Disney. Here you can see how they present us. Look at from here, because when the people think that this is, you are talking about a cartoon, don't be a fool. No. We are talking about the most scientific guy, which everybody, respect, which is Werner von Braun. Werner von Braun is, I think is here. He ended working at the Disney company, so don't fuck me, okay? Because this is Werner von Braun. Werner von Braun is here in the Disney Channel working to Disney. The first scientific Nazi end his life working on Disney Channel. So don't let's put the things on the table like really are, man.
You can fool some people sometime, but you can't fool all the people all the time.
Yeah, like Bob says.
Yeah, Bob, eh?
And this is Mars. Look at what they are doing. This guy, he just pointed with a finger on the paper. They are this is Von Braun acting. That is why, after all, because he was a scientist, okay? I am not putting in any doubt about all the knowledge that these guys have about rocketry, but what is very suspect about Von Braun? Because Werner von Braun, I have here.
And even I saw something else today on Facebook. One of my friends on Facebook posted that. But in Hollywood, I think it's in California, the place where they have all the stars on the sidewalk. But this is for actors, famous actors. They have a star or something.
Yeah.
Well, there's a star for the 3 astronauts that went to the moon, supposedly went to the moon, or their fake stuff. So they have a star there on the boulevard. But isn't that for actors?
Yeah, that is really, really, really coincident, But
I'm sure you type it on Google, you can search it, and you're gonna find it for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to do. Let me just put it like this.
Buzz Aldrin, I think his name was.
Hollywood, the Hollywood.
Hollywood Boulevard.
The Hollywood from the Templars. Plate. I don't know what is the word to.
Hollywood Boulevard. I think it's. I don't know. I think it's Hollywood Boulevard. I'm not sure.
Let me just street.
Hollywood star on the sidewalk,
Okay.
something like that.
Ah, give me one more try. Let me put
Yeah,
this.
you have it one there. You have one there at the bottom. I saw.
Okay, I going back there.
Yeah, you have one at the bottom. There was
Where?
one there.
Here. Ah, Hollywood Walk of Fame. The Walk
Yeah,
of Fame. It's
that's it.
okay. It's
That's it.
uh, Oh fuck.
Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
And you can
So
find the astronaut star in there.
Walk of Fame.
Hollywood Walk of Fame astronaut.
Here is the astronaut. Yeah.
Yeah,
Here is. He was like an actor. Okay. Fuck, man. No. They are loud.
you didn't see that one, eh?
No, I didn't see it. No, I didn't see it.
And now,
That's
yeah,
not,
and
yeah.
look at the numbers. To look at the numbers. Just the numbers. They talk by themselves
The numbers, what? Here?
on the picture. Yeah, on the picture. They went there. I think it's what's the date?
Says 7/20,
Yeah.
69.
So
The
7
20th of
plus 2,
July.
9.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there's 666 in there again.
Yeah, of course. Of course, they don't hide nothing, man. They are, putting everything. But the strange thing that Bernard von Braun is because when he died, he left in the, this I don't know which is the name in English. He lived like Psalms 19,
Some
which is it's a really strange one because it's talking about the glory, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showed his handiwork. So one of the guys who tried to break the firmament, this thing that are up there, he ended his life, working on Disney Channel, making us believe that we can reach Mars in this kind of concept ships. Look at this, man. They think that we can use this kind of um, of spacecraft to go to Mars, and they present us this kind of cartoon with the same voice. This is all science fiction. This is like Julio Verne of the
Yep. Yeah, but fiction is presented as being reality, and people believe that shit. That's the problem. It's like a movie. It's a big movie screen, the TV, and they believe everything they see on it or the internet. So, at one point, you have to disfire the bullshit in there and see what's real or not. But if you
yeah
don't,
yeah.
oh,
So if you just do a simple, I mean, he died and put the sun. The sun say about the handiwork of the heaven, and you connect with Disney, and you have everything on the table to decide for yourself if these guys, you're gonna believe that the world is fucking round, man. That's fear. You are believing to Disney, man. And Disney, it has their educational center, and Disney is with Monsanto. So wake up, man. How many things you want to wake up? That
that's the point. Is how many things we're gonna have to point for people to finally see it. It's so obvious. First of all, just use your eyes and look at the sun and look at everything you have that you can optically observe, and you're gonna realize everything is not moving; it's flat. And There's no such thing as space, and it's all like the other thing too that they want to prepare people is for the upcoming fake alien invasion.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I have my are in Spanish. Maybe in the future, we talking always that we can make it the crop cycles deception. That I have my video, but it's making in Spanish, so I can take the time to talk with you and share the same thing that I make in Spanish, but to have it because there is not a lot of people talking about the blue beam connection with the real thing, because the blue beam is the fucking earth. This is the blue beam, and for believe this, you have, you know, you have characters in our thing, like you have Copernicus. The most people doesn't even think and even know that the crop cycles are presented for the first time to this guy Robert Plot. We're talking about this, and he was also who present us the dinosaurs, and this is on Wikipedia and every book of history. So the blue beam is this. This is part of the blue beam, that but the people doesn't can, you know, go back because they use the linear thinking. But when you start to use the other setup to think, you start to connect things and you see what is really the blue beam. And the blue beam is not any projection on the sky. The blue beam are NASA, are the spacecraft, are Disney, are Von Braun, Robert Plot, the crop cycles. Everything is the blue beam. The satellites.
So you mean the crop circles? They're faking them out. How do they fake it? Like they just put pictures out there, like they do with the NASA, the same composite, they make computer-generated images.
No, no, you know, for faking the
Because Iru, there is people that's gonna tell that they have seen, they have heard that there's people that seen crop circle, they've been in the field, and I have saw video myself with people inside the crop circle. Like, where's all this?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you, because first of all, you know, you must be understand that the military guys has a lot of technology, okay? But the connection thing is this, when we're talking about the Robert Plot, which everybody knows which is Plot, he make us believe in the dinosaurs bones, and he also was the first that present to the media the crop cycles. This was, you know, it's like you're gonna believe that the UFOs get better making the crop cycles, you know, because this was the first crop cycles founded in 1686 by a professor Robert Plot, was like this, and then in our age the crop cycles are like this. So
this is the problem I have. Look, they're so evolved, like they make it sound like it's so complex. So where the last picture you've shown, where this come from?
This one.
Yeah, how did they went from that to that?
Exactly, man. I know, but the thing is totally clear. So the first crop cycle in our history was presented by Robert fucking Plot, which is a Mason, is a Freemason. Again, you know, is a fucking Freemason. There is no, for me, there is no doubt about this. Is a fucking lie again. This guy was who present us the first crop cycles. He wrote a book called The Magus of Freemasonry. So what are you gonna believe in the crop cycles? These two guys are Freemason, present us the fucking crop cycles and the dinosaur before get by Julio Verne, and then come to the other Freemason, Darwin. That is how they pass the knowledge generation through generation until you believe it. And I was trying to find sorry if I raise up my voice, but when I see this kind of connection, you know, I get.
Yeah, no, it's just so obvious.
I'm going to show you because I have in my other channel. I have it in here. When I start to study this crop cycles movement, you know, for me it was totally clear. This is my video in Spanish, but first of all, you know, the whole complete movement of the crop cycle is based in these interpretations sent it by a voyager. Do you know that part?
Yeah. Me, I have heard Nassim Aramain a lot about it.
Okay, so I ask you how they can receive a message sending by the voyager is nobody get out of the space.
Yeah.
Is 1 plus 1 is equal 2, man. Nobody go out of the space. The fucking voyager doesn't go to any place, so they can send any message, so they can receive any message from other races.
No. That's just nonsense. The whole thing is nonsense, but once you're absorbed in it and you think that Stephen Greer is real and all that, you go with it and you get into the city, the Center for Research and Extraterrestrial
blah, blah, blah,
International. Oh, yeah.
In
So
fact,
much nonsense.
in fact, the most important message, which is this one, was received in the field of the Young Corporation. There you have the Rayos telescope there. So this is the most important message. They have all the time to make it. This message doesn't appear, you know, in the farm of nobody. No, this was beside the radio telescope, so they can take it, even take a beer, and when they make it this. And I repeat you, how it's possible to receive a message from the voyager is that nobody get out. This is the voyager. how they do receive. In fact, you're gonna think what? Because you know that the Voyager has like a gold disc with all the language and blah blah images and things like that, making by Carl Sagan, right? But
Yeah.
the problem, what is the problem with belief in that kind of thing? First of all, this is Carl Sagan with the Voyager, so he is a fucking Freemason, all right? Then this is Carl Sagan, is, you know, Luciferian guy. Carl Sagan, when you type backwards, you have Nagas, and which is Nagas from the, you know,
Yeah.
this is Nagas, it's a serpent from for the Vishnu. Vishnu rests on the Naga, and Naga means serpent. So this is the artistic name of this guy that doesn't, I don't even know how is the real name of this guy. And Carl Sagan, he wrote The Demon Hunted World, Science as a Candle in the Dark. You know, a candle is a fucking Luciferian guy. So the Voyager has this disc, this gold disc with a lot of information. So you're gonna think what? Like another race in the, you know, in the spacecraft go beside the Voyager. They took the disc out, but they don't stop the path of the Voyager, because the Voyager is still sending signals from the regular science. In fact, I don't know, it was 2014 or something, that in that time they confirmed that the Voyager 1 reached out our solar system. That is where the picture of Pluto and that kind of things come.
Yeah.
So what, you're gonna believe that they take the disc, they take the information, but leave the spacecraft go along with his path, and then they send us the message to the crop cycle. So if nobody else, you know, when you start to thinking with critical thinking, you're gonna see that everything is made by the military guys. The military are one of the, you know, like Disney family has to make the computer generation images. That is the role in all this movement. The military, the whole movement of the military, they make the fake meteorite with that kind of weapons. They make all the bombs. That is the part of the military. In fact, we have seen some chapter when they show how the military creates bands like NSYNCs or do you remember when the military Simpsons NSYNC parody? I think maybe. There is a chapter when the five guys make like the anything military, you know, like be the this kind of band with the boys. What is the name? I didn't. So there are five boys.
New Kids on the Block.
No, I mean the Street Boys. How is the name?
Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, the Backstreet Boys. Street Boys. This kind of band are created by militaries. They are the military industry. It's also take part in this kind of things. That is. This is the chapter. This is the chapter when they create this band. But when they go to the manager, they see a military which is founding all the project. This guy is a military. Can you see the Navy on the chest? The Navy boat?
Yeah.
So they are telling to you, the military has that role in all this fake blue bean ball earth because they need to put us on the new age. So here you have a little clip show to you how they make the fucking crop cycles. Regular people. So you must be translate to the military complex industry technology.
Another discovery is made. Strange markings created by unknown visitors. The design resembles one discovered in the English countryside near Stonehenge in July of 1996. As expected, the crop circle makes front-page news in southern New Zealand. The report asks all the standard questions. Who or what created this, and where did they come from? Well, tonight, for the first time on network television, the mystery is finally unmasked. Result of the latest computer-drawn software. Just a design they liked and sketched out earlier in the day. Rope, wood planks, and surveyor's tape. That's it. You don't believe it? Watch.
Our time is up. We hope you've enjoyed this inside look at the dark world of deception and the methods used to make the impossible seem real. So remember, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. ver con los
En
fraudes
fin,
que
maestro, me
han
parece
dejado.
que no hay mucho más para acotar. Sorry, man. I mean, I think there is no, you know, more talking about this. The crop cycle
No,
is
it's
part of is one of the first blue bean part. The crop cycles was the first of the blue bean. It started in the 16th century by Robert Plot. That is why the designs of the crop cycle evolved during the years, because they get better and better because they started to practice fucking 400 years ago. So they practiced to 400 years. It's inevitable to convert in a master. After 400 years of practice, you become a master.
no, for sure, and especially after knowing about the flat Earth, it's just more sense that it's nonsense. But I mean, before coming in contact with the truth and all that, the flat Earth and stuff, I was not a believer, but I was following that, and I was like, oh, okay, it's possible that people exist outside of our world. Like I was never really convinced. I was never a ufologist or stuff like that. I never researched heavy on it. I never believe in spacecraft and stuff like that. But I was like, okay, crop circles, because I heard Nassim Haramein talk about it, and I was like, that's nice.
That's nice. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
nice and
I
big, but
used to think the
just
same
that.
way.
But before, but after the flat Earth, forget about it. Just
Yeah,
nonsense.
but
Nonsense.
you know, because I am a researcher and I like that, making that kind of thing. I was to you know, I say it in the last episode when we was together, and I say, okay, after I see in 3 or 4 videos of the flat Earth, but you know, pay attention and making really to doesn't just the content, just see it. Okay, I see 5 videos from Matt Boylan, from Eric Dubai, and from other guy I don't remember. And after seeing that, after see the high altitude cams, after Google that real satellite no appears, real Earth don't appear, real star don't appear, real star from guys like Alex Carrion, you start to see that, and instantaneously I see that the Earth is not a ball. So from that point, I started to think, okay, how I am explaining for myself how the eclipses works, how are the limits, are any limits, why the horizon doesn't change the altitude. So you started to learn again. In fact, my friend, he like I said before, he works in the constructions area, and he used AutoCAD, and he know a lot of calculation, you know, from the engineering part. And after they take this thing about the flat Earth, he started again to make, you know, study, to take the books, and he is like he get fresh again.
Yeah, it's like I'm reborn. And that's how we should all feel reborn after waking up, because we're waking up. It's what's happening is I'm waking up and I'm awakening, and you are awakening. We're all awakening. We're not awake. We are awakening. So yeah, it's very
Exactly.
important.
Exactly. So if you start to take this seriously, you're gonna see you taking time again. Because when you're gonna have free time, instead of course you're gonna make sports, things like that, but the time when you're gonna replace the television hour to get to yourself time.
And you
And
know, some people like me were not cut. And you say, when you say replace the television time, it's very important, because the biggest distraction is the television. We all have access to big TV, plasma TV, HD TV, and they have the big kit, and they take it all out. So we all have access to it, and that, but most people, But that's it. And me, for my part, I wasn't so much into the news or soap or no, it was the sport. The sport on TV. I was big on sport, but that's one of their biggest distraction and the biggest one of the main tool to divide people is the games and the sport and all those distractions. I starved that too. I was big on hockey. I starved all that. Like I'm sure you pretty much starve the soccer on TV too. You don't pass as much time watching soccer game on TV than you used to.
Yeah, that's for me it's the same. In fact, if you want to really understand this, when you open in the Google, nervous system manipulation by electromagnetic fields from monitors. Okay. So, and you have here is free, this is real web. I can refresh the web page. So then that is nothing creative for me, nothing. Then you have the number, then you have all the picture, and look at the happy face of a person see a monitor, that controls the electromagnetic field. And if you understand what is an electromagnetic field, your spirit are electromagnetic field. So that is why for me, if you come from the science part, you must get the center again. You must be taking the equilibrium again. So you need to incorporate, you need to, the same time you dedicated to learn about all the physics stuff related with the flat earth, you must take the consideration to make the same effort to take this kind of knowledge. But the problem is all the religions now are totally corrupt because they are all pointing to the new age. So the same, using the 11, you have the best to get into the real world is experimenting the real world. Nobody experimented the spinning or be turning upside down the head, and nobody feeling any kind of movement, and they know that, and that is why they programming us. Even in TV shows, like this one, I think you're gonna remember. Look at how they programming us to reduce our feelings to a level of 0.
Para liberarse de la atmósfera de la Tierra, un cohete de...
Sorry, it's in Spanish. This is for liberation of the rocket from the atmosphere. It must be reached at velocities of 4,000 kilometers per hour. So one of the brothers, he said, it's a lie. He said it's a lie, because if that was right, we must be feel all these movements. In fact, in the ESS, all the astronauts must get crashed to their own seats on the wall. Because it's the centrifugal force, it's like you be. So the smart guy of the show start to speak about, no, you are confused because in the space it's empty, so there is no friction and we don't feel nothing. So we are traveling, and start to make all the analysis, like the sun is traveling 60,000 kilometers per hour, but the sun is following the galaxy, traveling 600 million of miles per hour, but we don't feel nothing.
Velocidad. La sentirías cuando empezaras a ir rápido, pero al alcanzar la velocidad no lo notas. Ahora mismo estamos en un planeta.
Right now we are in the planet spinning 160 kilometers per hour, and that just is the rotation velocity, not the translation velocity. And then start to speak about that, and look how the symbolic energy that it can feel after you enter with this concept.
Y además existe por toda la galaxia, que se está de todas las galaxias, porque el universo. ¡Yipi!
You know that this is this kind of scripts are making by psychologists, and you know the the business show use a lot of psychology to make scripts and that kind of things. In
But
fact,
that's what we're in. We're in a psychological warfare, so that's what they're gonna use, everything they can.
exactly. Even, you know, for example, this is a marketing place from Starbucks, flat white, and they put it like this. I don't say nothing, but this is is here in Argentina, like
we're not gonna suggest anything.
they make everything, you know. They put it in. I like this one when this fucking astronaut it comes with 2 watches like Emmett Brown, man. Come on, this is a fucking actor with you know, with all the tiny things that when you present a character you need to do.
Unbelievable.
No, these are the astronauts.
Crazy what we have to.
It's amazing. And this little black shirt is with these little buttons remind me, you know, some kind of priest suit. So
yeah, probably what they want to let on to.
Yeah.
Probably part of the game.
Exactly. So, you know, if you start to know that you must be mix the physical world, the material, with the spirit, and because all the religions are corrupted, because all the religions are point to New Age, right? That is the religious I don't know how it is how to spell it. The only way you have is to experimental for your own, like you make with the flat earth. You experimental for your own and see the moon, the light up in our head moving. You see the sky are moving. You see there is no Coriolis effects at all. That kind of thing. How you do the same in the spiritual level? That is really hard, because we have been empty of that kind of concept, because we are receiving teachings from slavery. Okay, so this book is gonna give you a little, you know, a little fear at the beginning, because nobody teach us in any part of our life what is the spiritual world. So when you start to feeling when you leave the body, for example, you need to feel things like you are on glue it to your to your body. You're gonna feel like kind of like, you know, you need to really, it's really strange. And the beginning is like you start thinking, oh, I'm gonna die, because you feel like you leave your body behind. It's really strange thing. And in that kind of also, at least from my experience, I'm gonna talk about what I experienced. No, I talk with my own family. I have my 2 brothers that practice this. I have a little one and a big one. So we share. I have a lot of friends. I have, because I posted this. I posted in my fan page. Here, I'm gonna show you just for see that how these kind of things. Let me close that. Because, for example, I posted on my fan page, and a lot of people that follow me, they practice and they share with us their experience. For example, the Facebook.
I think that's what we have to do. Also, share more common experience, like more common observation that we make on the same time on the same day. That's what we have to come to eventually.
Yep, exactly. In fact, for example, this sent me by Lisette Capranos, that I take the time to say hello to her, because it's a friend of mine that follow me on the YouTube channel, and she printed in their own house, and she sent me this picture to show me that she understands. You know, you can have 1,000 proofs about the flat Earth, but now when we do what we do, because here we must be understand that at the end of the game, the king and the poor goes to the same box, okay, physically talking, but energetically talking, they have knowledge that we don't have. They have practice that we don't have, because the ayahuasca and all the psychedelics, no, the illusionary drugs, the psychedelics, they learn you, they show you that kind of world, but that kind of plants are forbidden, right?
Yeah, because it makes you rebel.
Exactly.
Against what?
Because you start to lose the fear to the death, not the fear to the disease. Because if you have a cancer, of course you're gonna have fear, and maybe but you know that after that moment you leave your body, you are eternal. All right, you are indestructible. You make the things bad in this life, but you're gonna to return or take a decision. Take a decision. So the only way to know how is that world, you need to start practice. And this is something that you're gonna be with your own, okay? Because this is not any religion, nothing. This is not, you don't need to invoke or Saint Germain or Jesus or Allah. No, here you don't need to invoke nobody. The only thing you need is to practice at the same way like ayahuasca do, which is make an answer first to yourself. For example, I'm gonna know what is about 50 kilometers above. It doesn't matter. You can say, I want to know how to get born. I want to know why my father leave my mother. Any kind of answer, but you need to make a path, because when you are making that and you write on the paper or just keep in your mind, you are generating like an opening of energy in the quantum field. The power of the answers, the questions, I think I maybe get wrong, the question, when you make a question, you are generating like a vibrational field around you to get that answer. So when you are going to go to this kind of worlds, the best thing is to create a path, energetically speaking. And the path you created with a question. So that is, for my practice, the best things to don't get confused. Of course, sometimes you're gonna feel fear, and in that kind of, in this kind of world, you just, when you desire with what you wish, you get. So if you are with fear and you wish wake up, it's just about 4 or 5 seconds and you wake up. It's like, because you must be understand, you need to put a some highest vibrational level to leave your body, that you are vibrating super high, right? So when you need to return, it's like you are going in a car at 300 kilometers per hour. You start to get fear because you feel that the car is, a little discontrolled, right? So your wish during the drive of the car, your wish is, I gonna stop, right? But you know that you can pretend that take the pedal of the brakes and the car immediately stop. No, you need the time, because you come with a vibration, which is in this case is the velocity, all right? But you need to sometimes, in 3, 4, 5 seconds, you slow down and you get to the side of the road and take breath. This is the same. This is the same. You can pretend, okay, I make all the vibration to leave my body, and because I have fear, because I feeling something that I never nobody learned teach to me, I gonna break. I gonna return to my body in 1 second. No, you must be wait, and everything's okay. What I want to leave here is this is where we need to go. No matter if you believe in a spherical world, a flat world, or whatever, you are gonna leave your body. So you need to get practice before.
No, it's very interesting. I'm gonna read the book for sure.
And the videos are also very well. So my friend, how time we get past?
Huh?
How time we how hours? How many
No,
hours?
that's good. We just did 2 hours, close to 2 hours. So I think we covered pretty much what we want to cover tonight. Then.
Okay, perfect. That I asked to you because I want to know for if I want to talk with this kind about gravity, but we can left better to the other episode, so this don't take so long.
Yeah, but it's you said you had more stuff to get together too about gravity. You said you didn't have everything. You said.
What? Repeat me, please.
You said you didn't have all your stuff about the new presentation about gravity you wanted to make.
I think I understand. You say that if I have all the things arranged from for making the gravity presentation.
Yeah.
I have it.
Okay.
I know I have it. I have it a little messed up because I'm gonna show you. For example, you know, I have this folder called Gravity, and I have a lot of links. In fact, I have a document sent me from my friend right now, which is some kind of things that are in the books that he received in the university. So I have the things, but I have a little mess up. I just I just maybe because I left to we start talking, and the idea was to show the network's connection with the spherical world and the blue beam. So we'll be interested if we the next week we start talking with this and we put that part of gravity in that chapter.
Yeah. You put us a couple movies and slides with that, and that's great. It's always good learning with Mr. Yehu. We learn a lot. Like every time you come, I learn stuff. Even tonight, I learned a lot. Every time, it's super great. I'm sure many viewers are gonna enjoy. People enjoy when you come, Yehu. I get only good comments. Even people sent me email to ask me about when Yehu was coming back on the Tru-Mon show.
Really? That's nice. Thank you, people.
Yeah, a guy sent me an email. He said, "Hey, I want to know about Yehu. It's super nice, the show and that." So I'm like, "Yeah, I'll write to him." So Yehu is back.
No, I was with a lot of work and I'm still get finished the video of gravity, which I don't know 14 days working on that, and I just put a little part. I can have the time to make all together, but the next week we can start to put the thing together.
Yes, next Sunday, same time. If you're available, I'll be here.
What again, please?
Next Sunday, same time. If you're available, I'll be here.
Okay, yeah. Of course, I asked to you on Friday. Test me, send me a link for remember because I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. So
I always like to touch base with you during the week anyway, send you a couple messages. Hey, bro, what's up? And stuff like that. So, no, I like to, we keep in contact a lot. We're in contact through Messenger and stuff. So, we're always connected anyway. So, it's not a problem. Spiritually, we're connected. So.
Exactly.
It's always great. So thanks for coming on, Yehu. It was a pleasure again, and I see you again next week, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about gravity and all the nonsense that they try to shove down our throat, but not ours anymore because now we're free from that slavery. But there are brothers and sisters still in the world we live in that are under mental slavery. So very important to share our knowledge all the time and rise and shine.
Yep. No, because sorry, man. I know
Still
that
something to add?
still you are still transmitting, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I want to say goodbye to my friend.
Okay,
That
hold on.
are there, and maybe he want to say something. Sorry for.
Hold on. I'll just stop it and then we can talk. I'm out.
Yeah,